Hey gals and guys, it's your host Phil Larson, and this is your Motivational High Five on Perfectionism. Let's do this. Are you new to the show? Welcome. Check out thestoryshop.tv/podcast for more information and sign up for the email newsletter, The Internal Motivators, and you will get a complimentary download of the song that this episode ends on. And it's for listening purposes only. Check it out. This show is specifically designed to be short and to the point, and I hope that you can find some wisdom in these episodes to help motivate you on your day. And today's episode is one that I deal with every time I record. Is it perfect? Is it, did I mess up? Do I need to go back and re-record that? And I do get caught up in my perfectionism. And perfectionism can really cause me to overthink something and really not accomplish things. And here's a quote that really addresses that. It's by Edmund Burke. And he says, "Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little." And about a year ago, I went on vacation with my dad and my brother. And we went over, we were in California. We're checking out some sites over there. One of the places I really wanted to go was Yosemite. And I wanted to climb the infamous Half Dome. And if you don't know what Half Dome is, just Google image search Half Dome, and you'll go, "Oh, I've seen that somewhere." It's everywhere. And I heard tons of stories of people climbing Half Dome, and I got really excited, and I go, I want to climb Half Dome. So we went to Yosemite, and it was kind of my job of the trip to kind of to plan out some details around that part of the trip. And it looked like we would be lodging close to Yosemite on the map anyway. It looked that way, and I figured out where within the park to park for an easy walk to Half Dome. I figured out, these details or whatever. And I thought I had it planned out perfectly. Well, I didn't. It turns out around Yosemite, the driving is windy, and you're going up and down and around mountains just to get to Yosemite. And it turned out where we were staying was a 2-hour drive, because you're not going very fast and you're going through windy roads. And the night before, I look up, well, maybe I should check to see, because to climb Half Dome, you need these cables to be installed. Well, they're seasonal, and we were out of season. The cables weren't even up. And, I was just thinking, to get to at least the base of Half Dome, we need to start at first light. Well, we were 2 hours away, and we didn't get started right away. And so it wasn't perfect. And I had to set some of that aside. And as we were climbing, I was like the slowest one. I was completely out of shape. And I go, I can't even get up some of these elevation changes. But maybe we can at least get to the base of Half Dome. And then we got to this ledge that, had railing, but it was right alongside the mountain. And I'm not good with heights at all. So I didn't really take this into consideration, and we wasted some time, just me gaining the courage to get across this ledge. And so we got to the top of this waterfall, and we rested for a bit, and to get to the base of Half Dome was still a long ways off. And we looked at the sun, and we looked at our watches, and we decided we probably needed to start our descent soon. And so it wasn't perfect, and I had to give up some of that perfectionism, and I'm glad I did, because I would have missed out on some things. I would have missed out on being victorious over a fear of heights. I, hashed some things out with my brother that, we were both kind of getting on each other's nerves on the way up, and some of the things that we said kind of laid down the foundation of a clearing of the air that allowed for the rest of the trip to be much more civil between us. And I got to partake in the awe and wonder of God's beauty displayed in the mountains of Yosemite. And if you've never been there, you need to go. It's beautiful. Andy Rooney has this quote, "Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it." And one of the biggest mountains I've had to climb in my life and give up some perfection around is my marriage. And I wanted to do it perfect. And it wasn't until I chose to loosen my grip on that I was able to love it for what it was. And last June, on our 8th year anniversary, my wife, the poet, posts a picture on Instagram and says, "We have been married 8 years today. It has not been perfect, but it has been something much, much better than that." At the end of our podcast, we invite positive talk into our lives, and it may sound a little weird, but it's supported by science, which is why I encourage you to listen to episodes 1 and 15. But we look at a reflection of ourselves, and we speak life, and we speak beauty, and we speak wisdom into the reflection. This reflection that has looked back and stared back at us every day when we try to build confidence in ourselves, when we try to put ourselves together to be perfect. And we look at that and we criticize it and we say, "You're not perfect." But today we choose to embrace the imperfection of ourselves as we look into our eyes. And when you find a reflection of yourself today, will you say this: "I can let go of perfectionism and find value in the imperfect life around me." You don't have to be perfect. Lean in to the imperfections around you. Those allow you to grow. But that's a decision. Like all of these decisions, these daily decisions, they have to start with you.